There were 3 changes to the Arsenal team that had just beaten Aston Villa. Ashley Cole was suffering from illness, so Gaël Clichy replaced him at left-back. Philippe Senderos made way for Kolo Touré, returning from a 3-match suspension, and Robert Pires was back in the starting 11. For the first time in the club's history, there wasn't a single English player in the Arsenal matchday squad. 2 alterations to Ian Dowie's side that lost to Bolton. Gonzalo Sorondo had completed his 1-match suspension and was reinstated in the centre of defence at the expense of Darren Powell, while Michele Ledgerwood dropped to the bench, replaced in midfield by Ahi Rihelati. The man in charge for this one was Rob Styles, and commentary comes from Robbie Earle alongside Martin Tyler.
Crystal Palace in a change strip of white and blue here at Highbury this evening against the red and white. Arsenal have scored in every home game this season. Palace have scored in all but 1 away. So maybe goals are on the menu. Palace have won only once away. That was at Birmingham City. Inevitably with a Johnson goal. This is Wayne Routledge. Still at Crystal Palace, despite significant interest from Tottenham Hotspur for him in the transfer window. And Reyes pressed into almost conceding a corner.
Will be a test for young Clichy. Routledge is good run with the ball, good tricks.
Pascal Segar stooping to head away and now trying to turn, and I think they'll try and get Johnson on him at every opportunity. He's not the quickest player when it comes to turning, and it's a terrific shot by Friedman, which Lehmann kept out, and Palace couldn't pounce with the follow-up. And there's a warning shot from this shot from Crystal Palace.
Well, there's hope for Palace, and this is the reason why. Andy Johnson's going to trouble Segan, there's no doubt about it, and Dougie Freeman coming from that deeper position we saw, and it was a decent save that from Lehmann's.
Jens Lehmann recently recalled by Arsene Wenger, having missed 10 Premiership games when Almunia was preferred to him, but Almunia's errors here against Manchester United meant that the German was recalled and did well at Aston Villa when Arsenal did look more like the side that they were when they started the season in such electrifying form. Edu is fit again these days, and he's blocked off there by Rihelati, and Rob Styles, the referee, saw that.
You can already see the game plan. Johnson's going to play down that right-hand channel between Segan and Clichy. Might be a little understanding there, and he's the kind of player who can make the most of it.
Clichy. It's nice work from Reyes, who'd love to have a good game. From what I understand of it, Robbie, he's pretty settled in England despite this Real Madrid story, but he's brought quite a lot of his family over with him, and they're not quite so happy. Henry. And somehow Palace kept it out when Arsenal were moving in to just force it over the line, and oh, what's Lehmann done here? Well, if this is a sign of things to come, do not look away.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the end he does well to get back, because when it goes there, I think that's on its way in, and don't quite think we need the video analysis for that one. You know, it was well saved, but exactly, I mean, heart in the mouth moment, and just lack of concentration by Lehmann. And these are the kind of things that I think Arsene Wenger is going to have to spend and buy a keeper. You can't have that kind of uncertainty when the ball's going back to your number one.
Pires. Bergkamp to Henry. Now Routledge. Palace trying to meet fire with fire. Henry tracking back.
I think we also saw, Martin, in that minute, you know, the good and the bad about Arsenal. They've scored 58 goals this season, top goal scorers in the league, but conceded 30. Far too many when you think Chelsea have conceded 8, Manchester United have conceded 16. You know, going forward, yes, I think they're as good as any in the league, but defensively, they've not been anything like the Arsenal that were here last year, winning games.
They've just given the ball away again. And Routledge crosses, and Friedman coming in again.
Well, they're too open, it's quite simple, as you say, giving away cheap possession, and Friedman's coming from this deep position, and they find it difficult to pick him up. Really, it was decent play by Toure, because I think his stretch just put Friedman off. It's certainly a half chance. They've not been anything like the Arsenal that were here last year winning games.
So they've got youth, they've got pace, they've certainly got the belief that Ian Dowie has put into the Palace ranks. Amazing that he got them promoted. It's with that kind of talent and tenacity. But Arsenal again, very culpable. Johnson gets in a header. It was there wasn't much pace on the ball for him to use.
Again, it's poor distribution, lack of possession again, and Johnson gets a half header. He's some 12 yards out, and it's a difficult one to steer on target.
Got an FA Cup game here on Saturday against Sheffield United. Just about to say they're a goal in front against Crystal Palace, but it just kept on going outside the post rather than inside.
Well, this is one of the occasions I talked about Henry getting it to feet, and you're at the will of how good his shooting is. I tell you what, he's very, very close to giving Arsenal the lead. Instant turn and shot, and he's beating Caroli, just brushing past the outside of the post. That's the measure of the man. Half a yard to turn, snapshot. Very nearly the lead.
Well, there's a problem here for Rihilati. We were worrying about him maybe not lasting the game. He's got an injury, an ankle problem. And Mikel Ledgerwood, Robbie, player you know very well from your own Wimbledon days.
Yeah, no problem to him, dropping in midfield. Talked about him before, mine. He's got a lot of abilities, he's got good power, good strength. At times he needs to just up his concentration levels, and he certainly have to do that tonight.
Reyes, and a goal for Dennis Bergkamp. And maybe that substitution just distracted Crystal Palace momentarily. But Arsenal have passed their way into the lead because Bergkamp, in fact, just passed it, steered it into the net.
Well, it's those Palace have just switched off. Not sure, as you say, the substitution not quite got things right, but Boyce gets caught outside, and the ball wide from Edu gives Reyes plenty of time. He measures the ball in, and once Bergkamp's there, there's only going to be one real conclusion. It's a clinical finish on the near post.
And the Palace supporters will be thinking, wish we could have got to half-time at 0-0.
Well, they just switched off in the midfield, and whether, again, it was that substitution, the jerk would maybe just sat a little deep, and Edu got space and was able to feed the ball out to Reyes, and from the moment he landed at the Spaniard's feet, there was problems. Bergkamp made that near post run, and I'm afraid the conclusion was somewhat inevitable.
Boyce. And it's Friedman! Well, a clear sight of goal so soon after going behind, and at this level it is about taking the opportunities.
Well, there's the position we talked that Friedman can get. He can ghost in on the far stick. We said he's got a sure touch around the box, and just when he needs it, it really lets him down. Just rather swipes at the ball wildly, when really anything controlled on target is going to cause Lehmann a problem. And as I said, Ian Dowie knows we'll have 2 or 3 good opportunities to score.
Some of you watching might have seen the match over the holiday period at Old Trafford, where Crystal Palace went, and they're actually in front for a while and ended up being overpowered 5-2 to Manchester United. And I just sense something similar could happen here. Edu. Henry, very good defending by Paul. Oh, and then it is 2-0, and Reyes, having made the first, drills in the second.
Well, we talked about times that this kid isn't on the same wavelength with his teammates. There's other times when he's on a different planet at times, because he's got such talent. I mean, this ball comes back to him, it's worked wide, and when he's dispelled out to him, the ball's under his feet. He has no right to get that kind of power in his left foot, but such is his ability, such is his talent. One touch out of his feet, the second's a blistering strike across the keeper. I mean, that's top draw. You just don't stop those.
Well, he ends a barren spell, 13 Premiership appearances without a goal. But you saw the relief as well as the jubilation. And also, just to make a point, I think the young man himself is happy here. He's not settled into the extent of being fluent in the language, but he's certainly contributed in his time. He finished last season well, and he started this season well. Bergkamp. Oh, and but for Kirai, it would have been a third. It would have been an own goal off the head of Sarondo, who looked round with anguish and then saw his goalkeeper pull off a real reach.
Well, this is meant for Lauren. Sarondo stretches his neck muscles and tries to steer it wide. It's a brilliant save.
Seagal. Reyes. Henry. And but for Kirai, he's made another brilliant save. It would have been three. Two terrific pieces of goalkeeping by the Hungarian.
Well, they worked this brilliantly, Arsenal. Look at the passing movement. It's one touch. He gets Henry in on the inside, and then fantastic save. And I think it comes off the defender.
It wasn't Kirai, was it?
Jerkwood, I think, gets his body in the way and steers it over the top.
Short corner from Arsenal. Henry! Irresistible.
Well, the switch has been flicked. It's quite simple. I mean, that's brilliant. You cannot stop that. It's world-class finishing. They've worked the short corner. They've got him in once. This time he just ducks outside. Pure power. Absolutely no chance. It's head down. It's controlled. It's arrowed to the far stick. And Karali, defenders, put whoever you want on the line. They're not stopping this.
Well, they turn like skaters on ice, and there's just a grace, balletic air to it. Well, we promised you entertainment at the start, and I hope you won't feel shortchanged. You shouldn't. Jens Lehmann had a crazy moment at 0-0, which it was for half an hour, but then Arsenal turned on the star from the moment Rihalati went off. And within seconds, Bergkamp had put them in front from a Reyes cross. Reyes got the second. Well, that was spectacular, but surpassed by Henry ripping in the third. And it's hard to see what's left but gallant resistance for Crystal Palace at half-time here at Highbury. Arsenal 3, Palace 0. Thierry Henry getting his 18th Premiership goal of the season. It now puts him 3 ahead of Andy Johnson, who's there at the edge of the centre circle, hoping that he might get a chance to at least make a registration on the scoreline for Crystal Palace here at Highbury.
You sometimes wonder with Johnson, don't you? You must look at that Arsenal team and think, oh, if only I was up front up there, I'd probably get 30 goals a season.
Well, he certainly has the quality that Arsene Wenger always looks for in a player, which is real pace. She comes into that category. Just to remind you again, if you missed the earlier point, that Arsenal are all non-English tonight, including the substitutes. Very much a strong French influence. Clichy. Reyes. To Reyes again. Lauren. Touch back to Lauren.
That's quite interesting, because you see Lauren go forward here and gets forward and he's trying to get his name on the score sheet. Yet, when the long straight ball was played for Michael Hughes, I thought it was poor defending by the fullback. Maybe that tells us something about the way Arsenal are.
Hughes. And Friedman can take it on here. It's a chance. And as at a crucial stage in the first half, it's a chance that gets away from Dougie Friedman and Crystal Palace.
Well, we talked about having 1, 2 or 3 opportunities. This is the second one for Dougie Friedman, I have to say. It's the second time he's got in there and should do a lot better. It's a great ball from Michael Hughes, and he does the first part well. Friedman goes across the defender. It's on his favoured right foot, and then he pulls it horribly wide.
Ian Dowie must feel like it's playing against a team with 38,000 in it, because Arsenal have had so much ability and picked their way through a defence that looked as though it was shaping up very soundly, and did for half an hour. But probably in terms of orderliness, it was better than Arsenal's defending.
We've got not undone by better quality, and I'm afraid that happens at this level at times for all your work rate and effort.
Bergkamp, and Henry best beaten by the pace, but he applauds the intention.
Well, he's a catalyst, Bergkamp. Lovely football brain, look at the weight of pass. I think he's really appreciated by the likes of Henry and Perez and Vieira, players, you know, of huge potential, of huge ability, but they know how important Bergkamp is to this team. Whenever they get the ball, he makes himself available. Head's always on the turn, always got a picture. Always said he doesn't pass the ball, he invites players.
Henry's pass, and Patrick Vieira walks in, number 4.
Well, that's typical Arsenal again. Bergkamp has a smaller part to play, but goes short, delivers the ball into Henry. This time it releases Vieira to run forward. Vieira plays the first pass and basically just keeps running. Watch him in the middle of your picture. Henry sees him, lovely way to pass. Well, he gets undone by the defender, thinks he's getting there, and Vieira has a simple tap to knock the ball home, but it's all about the passing movement, it's all about the pace and weight of the pass. Vieira has a simple tap of tapping the ball home for Arsenal's force.
Well, they are a class apart tonight, certainly apart from Crystal Palace, and it's almost a humiliating nature of a goal like that for the team that's conceded it. Reyes outrunning Routledge. Henry. Oh, it's so quick. Bergkamp, in the end this time, surprisingly, didn't finish the move off. But just look at this.
Well, it's pace and its simplicity. It's one-touch passing. Bergkamp's clearly onside, and just think he catches the outside of the post. Snapshot. Look at the movement, look at the passing, the appreciation. Now he hits the stanchion at the back, but Palace mere spectators, really.
This is Boyce. He's got a good ball into the feet of Johnson. That's a penalty for Crystal Palace. Andy Johnson will take it. He's earned it, and it's Crystal Palace's 9th penalty this season.
There's been a hell of a lot on this guy. Again, it's great feet by Johnson. You can see the threats there, and it's Vieira who seems to hang out a leg, and Johnson goes down, and Rob Stiles has no hesitation. Clear penalty. Slightly rash challenge by the captain, and at least gives Johnson a chance maybe to add another to his toll and hang on the shirt tails of Thierry Henry.
Well, the number 8 has taken 8 previous penalties and scored 6 of them. Up steps Johnson, and he's now scored 7 penalties this season and 16 Premiership goals. He's fired it in off the underside of the bar, and it's 4-1.
Well, there's your reward for hard work up front and a little bit of quick feet. No hesitation from Johnson. This is a striker, a confident striker, and well, Mr. Eriksson sitting in the stand, at least you're to be reminded that he's still around. Nothing else, I think, that annoy Arsene Wenger, that they've conceded yet again, having dominated the game really after the first 20 minutes and broke forward at will. Again, they've been sloppy in conceding a goal. And
well, the ball was kicked away here by one of the Crystal Palace back liner. Sorondo, the whistle had gone, and Sorondo hoisted it away. He saw Bergkamp protesting. This was the incident. Whistle gone. Frustration again. Player who was recently red carded, a little unfortunately, in the game against West Bromwich Albion up at the Hawthorns, when Palace, even with 10 men, bounced back to get a 2-2 draw. But they're 4-1 down here. Arsenal annoyed at conceding, maybe revved up to get more, and Perez trying to place this in the right areas. Oh, Henry says no, but Rob Lewis says you're offside.
Well, they've used the same tactic again, Palace, and when they come up,
he's never offside.
He's never off. Bergkamp is, Henry isn't, and well, I'm sure that Bergkamp's really interfering with play, and it's a very dicey game for Palace to keep doing it. Not surprised Arsenal don't send somebody over the ball first before it's delivered.
Bergkamp, been a spot of handball. Palace weren't really appealing. Reyes going to pick the right pass out. He's done that. Perez inside of the post. And well, to say Arsenal could have had double before that they've already scored is an understatement. Well, a chance to look at how close Perez came.
Well, this time Reyes does well because he holds the play up and makes the right decision. Well, Perez really should score.
Reyes. All of staggering dimensions, really. And Bergkamp beating Granville. Henry. There's number 5. It's Henry's second of the night. It's his 19th league goal this season. And he's on a hat-trick in his 200th Premiership game.
Well, it's getting easy. I mean, it's a fabulous ball by Clichy. And only surprise was Bergkamp miscontrols it. But watch what happens after. 35 years of age. Look at the way he manipulates himself out of a tight situation. And then Henry, surrounded by blue and white shirts, but works just that slightest of openings. And it's all about his ability, all about the clinical finish. Popped on to the right foot, bends it into the corner. Well, no chance of gain. Brilliant finish.
Here's number 32, Lakis. Oh, it's a decent try. With Ledgett Wood trying to dip that under the bar. It was a very good attempt, Robbie.
Well, you can tell it was such a good attempt by the movement of Lehmann, because he's scrambling for this, and I'll tell you what, the keeper doesn't know that he's very relieved to see just land on top of the net and not inside. It's a decent effort from Ledgett Wood, as you say. Struggled really to have a big impact in the game, Ledgett Wood, placing real Archie, but that was a better moment for him. They'll fight the way, Sheffield United, the way Neil Warnock sets his team up. They can come and enjoy the afternoon, really. There'll be no pressure on them. They've been irresistible tonight, Arsenal.
Well, another one here, right at the last knockings, would really top it off for Arsenal. Well, they couldn't have expected that, Fabregas.
The defender just ducks under the ball, really, and as you say, catches Fabregas by surprise.
A Monday night masterclass from Arsenal Football Club. Dennis Bergkamp conducted it, really. I don't wish to be xenophobic, but I suppose the only negative from the point of view of the locals here, not an Englishman involved for Arsenal tonight. The first occasion that all their 16 players have been foreign, but the foreigners, if you like, have been fantastic. Arsenal have run out so comfortable winners by 5 goals to 1, and it could have been many, many more.